Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 54 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
So this week, a couple of games to have a little chat about.
Yeah, early morning games though.
Yeah, I know. Late night / early morning, however you wanna look at it, or wherever in the world. It might be normal time if you're out in America. So we lost 5-0 to Chelsea first and foremost. What did you make of it?
Well, I've seen a lot. Do you know what? Pretty much every episode I say I've seen a lot on Twitter, but that's, where I get quite a lot of my information from. But, I've seen a lot of people, not necessarily Wrexham fans from over here, kind of saying, oh my God, we've been beaten 5-0. But we've got to remember, this is Chelsea.
Yeah.
They are a Premier League team, and it's not about the goals as such, really. I know it'd be nice, but it basically is these friendlies are just time for the lads to be on the pitch, getting the minutes in, getting ready for the season to start, where the goals really matter. Yeah. So I wasn't too fussed that we lost 5-0, to be fair.
I wasn't disappointed with the result.
No.
I thought they played very well.
Yeah.
I thought, it was 2-0 after 70 odd minutes.
Something
It was,
like that,
it was late on when they got a little bit of a flurry of goals.
I think is quite good.
Yeah, and I think that would be expected from a bigger team playing a lower team. What tends to happen is the lower team will have a good go.
Yeah.
And then later on, the superior fitness and, sort of the bigger teams will sort of push on in the last 10 and get a few goals. I was disappointed they scored 5, especially with how well Wrexham played to keep it at 2. But I wasn't disappointed with the result.
It was
at all.
hot.
Yeah, it was hot there.
So, they're not used to them sort of heats, really, to be fair.
I think I was disappointed that we just didn't manage to get one. I think it would have been nice. 5-1, I'd have taken that, that I've been fine with that. Just to get something.
The thing
on
I
the
was
board,
disappointed. The only thing I was disappointed was for the fans that were over there. The American fans.
That's what I mean.
It would have been nice for them to see, to be able to celebrate, something. Yeah. So that's the only thing I'm disappointed about. I'm not disappointed in the lads at all because
it's a friendly and results like this. I always felt something like this was going to happen. It's like you rightly say, it's about minutes on the pitch. Getting that done, and it's
tactics and things. But just bear in mind as well, last season, one of our friendlies was against Nantwich.
Yes.
And this year it's against the likes of Man United, Chelsea.
No disrespect to Nantwich.
No, God, no, not at all. But what I'm saying is, Chelsea are a Premier League team.
Yeah,
we have to remember that they're a Premier League team. So
we went to the Nantwich game.
We did
last season. There was a few hundred of us there watching that, and it was it was very nice. And then they played Chelsea, and there was 50,000 there. There's levels, isn't there? And there's a difference, and it shows where the club are moving. I think 2 players stood out for me in the game. I think Tom O'Connor was one. He looked so comfortable on the ball, even against higher class opposition than we're used to playing. He looked so comfortable on the ball. He was passing around. I was very impressed with him. And I think Ryan Barnett was the other one.
Love Ryan.
Yeah, and I think he was very good against Chelsea. There was no fear. He was happy taking people on. And he looked very good for me. I thought he played really well.
Another thing that I've been thinking about, just quickly, is obviously Ben Foster. He is. This is another thing that people may have got their goat up about. I don't know if that's a proper saying, but anyway.
No. It's not.
No. But got a bit worried about is the fact that he was a Premier League goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So you'd think a Premier League team he could be able to.
Doesn't work like that.
I know it doesn't, because you've obviously got another 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah. Another 10.
Another 10 on the pitch. So it's like, So
it's a team effort, and it's
exactly.
You look at goalkeepers who are in the Premier League, they can't even stop other Premier League teams from scoring. Some do, but
it's all relative, isn't
it? Second game this week was LA Galaxy. It was a bit better, wasn't it?
Do you know what? I'm so chuffed for Andy Cannon scoring the first goal.
I know.
It was a good goal. Good as, obviously Palmer. Mullen assisted the goal, and it was just seamless. So well done, Andy Cannon. It was a good goal.
Yes, I was really happy to see Andy scoring. Yes. I think, it's been, it's his first goal for the club. It has been, it's been coming for a while, and he's had a couple of chances, and it just never really happened for him. It's nice to see him score.
Absolutely.
I think in the first half, so Lee had a volley that was disallowed for offside. I've seen, obviously I've watched it. It's never offside.
No. I'm not a professional when it comes to the offside rule, but even I could tell that it wasn't.
Yeah. So we had that one disallowed. Hayden sort of volleyed in from a corner just as the whistle was going. So, that one was obviously disallowed as well. Mendy had a decent shot in the first half that the keeper had saved. All the goals came in the second half. So it was 0-0 at half time.
It's pretty standard for Wrexham, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That was a very typical Wrexham performance.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and tight in the first half, score a load of goals
just
in the second half.
Smash them in at the end.
So we only made one sub at half time as well. So we swapped Ben Foster for Howard. Howard came on.
Good to see him back on.
It was. So Elliot Lee scored the second, Mullin the third. So Mullin assisted the first two goals. Mullin scored the third, scored it. I mean, it was a bit. I mean, all right, let's give it to him. That's fine, but I don't know. I watched it a few times. It looks more like an own goal to me. But anyway, let him have it because he played well. 1 goal, 2 assists. Very well done. We made a couple of subs in the 68th minute. 10. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. We scored the third, right? And then the ball goes back to the middle to kick off. And there is literally 10 players lined up waiting to come on. And there's just this mass subs on, subs off scenario.
It's to give all the lads a go, isn't it?
It is. And I was happy. I think the starting lineup that we had at the start of the Galaxy game was a good indication of who might start the season. Although Tozer wasn't on, I think Tozer's probably a shoe-in to be starting. But he wasn't there. But I think to give them lads 68 minutes, it sort of indicated you want to get a little bit more fitness and get them up to speed a little bit more maybe than the lads coming on. Although we have got 2 more games coming up, so we don't completely know.
What do you think of Boyle?
Decent. He's very comfortable on the ball.
He gels well with the lads.
Yeah, he will do. He'll, professional. Very professional. He will gel with everyone, and I think he's settled in well from what I've seen from photos away from the pitch.
Yeah.
I think he definitely will. I think it was an excellent choice of the first 2 friendlies. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know how the next 2 are going to go. So Chelsea was selected for hard work. You're going to have to work. They were quick. They moved the ball fast, and it was a game that was there you're going to have to work hard to stay in that game. And it was played where the heat and the humidity was high. So it was excellent choice, I think, for a first friendly. Again, excellent choice for a second friendly. It gave us a little bit more time on the ball. It helped us work a little bit on the more tactical side of the team, whereas the Chelsea was more hard working. So whoever's planned the friendlies, I think it was an excellent choice of first 2 friendlies to get something different out of the team both times.
Caitlin and Rob were there.
They were at the LA. Obviously, they live in LA. I think they live in Bel Air, actually.
I'm assuming he's going to be going to the Philadelphia game. I mean,
yes.
it's his home turf, isn't it? So
I'm assuming, because obviously San Diego is, well, just to talk about the other games that we're playing this week, we've got Manchester United on the 25th of July. That's in San Diego, which is also California.
God, they're clocking up the miles, aren't they?
Yeah, and that is at 7:30 Pacific time. And then we're playing Philadelphia Union on the 28th of July. That's at Subaru Park. That's at 7:30 Eastern time. So in the UK, the Manchester United game's on at 3:30 in the morning again. And the Philadelphia Union game's on at midnight.
Not too bad,
in the UK. So I'm guessing, Rob will go to maybe the San Diego game and the Philadelphia game. I suppose it depends on what he's up to.
Well, aren't they all on strike at the moment?
Oh yeah, right.
So,
writer's strike. So crack on, do what you want. Bit of news this week.
Yes.
So the black shirt was released in the shop.
We haven't had ours yet.
No, we haven't had ours yet. But we had an email from Roy because we talked about shirts. I don't want to make it all about shirts again this week, but Roy emailed us and he said he agrees that the kids' kit is too expensive. But he said what we don't know is what the ins and outs of the deal with Macron are.
Which is what?
Completely agree. Yes, we agree with you,
yes.
Roy. One thing he said in his email, he said, I bet you that it's the kit manufacturer more than the club who set the price.
Which is what I said.
Yes. Although, with that in mind, with the red and black kits currently being sold out, the question that sort of popped up in my head is, have we outgrown Macron? It's a question that keeps coming back in my head over and over again. Have we outgrown them as our kit sort of manufacturer? Because what I keep asking is, the black one sold out, the red one sold out. There will be another wave of kits being released.
Yeah, of course.
But would this happen if Nike were making our kits? Would this happen if Adidas were making our kits? Puma making our kits? I don't think it would.
No.
Because I think
they're used to big scale manufacturing, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We went on the Man City tour and they had, in their club shop, they had thousands.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was a lovely club shop.
It was.
They had thousands just in the club shop, and they are Puma? Are they Puma, Man City?
Yes.
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 So, for me, the question has to start, somebody has to ask this question somewhere, is have we outgrown Macron as a shirt manufacturer?
I think it needs to be talked about, within the club, because it is just, we are massive. Wrexham AFC.
We are massive.
We are massive. Like, last season we were big, but this season it seems to be, this year, it just seems to have blown up even more. And the documentary's due out. We're going to get more people coming on board.
Yeah.
And it's just I think that is something that they need to think about long and hard, because we can't keep having the same issues season after season after season, because you're just going to annoy people for a start.
Yeah.
Which you already are.
Yeah.
Well, you're not.
No, but I mean, I think it's a valid question. I personally think that is a very valid question. I know I've asked the
Anybody from the club listening?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on?
But I think you've nailed the title of this week's podcast, haven't you? Wrexham AFC, we are massive. Well, we are big though. We're big, and we're getting a lot of interest all around the world. And I just think that our infrastructure with regards to everything, with buying tickets, and shirts being available for the people who want to buy them. When you've got new fans coming on board all the time, they want to spend their money, and then they go into the website, and a week after it's been released, and it's going, oh, we haven't got any, sorry. We didn't know what was going to happen, so we haven't got any. I mean, it's so poor.
It is. Because the likes of like Man United and Man City and Chelsea and all that.
And we're not saying we are as big as them. We're not saying that. But
no, I'm not. Yeah,
we have a global appeal.
We have to, we have to. What's the word? We have to help me out with the word.
No. It's funny watching you struggle.
I can't think of the word, but we have to. It's really going to annoy me now.
We have to live up to the expectation, don't
we? That's not the word I was thinking.
No, I know it's not, but we do have
to. We have to cater for the massiveness.
Wow, I mean, I'm sorry if the volume on that just absolutely peaked then.
Sorry, I'm glad I got that out because otherwise I would have been annoyed.
Any more news for the week?
I don't know.
So, Wrexham AFC women have signed ex-Aston Villa defender Karen Allen this week.
Yes.
It's the second signing that they've made this summer. I think they're really starting to push on now. They've made two really good signings from what I've seen. I'm just looking at Sian.
I haven't got the
She's absolutely lost her way. Oh, it's because you've
got
Oh, different.
Well, you're talking about my professionalism. Hello.
Whatever. Anyway, I've got all the notes here. Thanks very much. So the away tickets for AFC Wimbledon went on sale this week as well to season ticket holders. The season ticket holder allocation for AFC Wimbledon has sold out. The members allocation goes on sale on Tuesday the 25th. From 10 a.m, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
And there'll be a queuing system in place from 9:30. Although people are quite annoyed by the queuing system.
I'm not sure the queuing system's working as it should be, if I'm honest.
Some people have been getting in the queue at just after 9:15 when it's available. When the queue is supposed to start at 9:30, which is obviously annoying. Some people who are getting on at 9:30 and they're number 600 in the queue. And other people aren't able to get in the queue until 9:40, 9:45. So, look, there are lots of people out there who are having no issues at all.
It's weird.
But
we never have any issues, do we?
We don't either. So it's a bit odd for us because, but there are issues out there.
To be fair, there's only 1,214 tickets, I think, for the AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah,
so I think it's going to be quite difficult to get tickets anyway, but
last little thing just to mention, welcome to Wrexham. The season 2 of the documentary is going to be released on the 12th of September, so it's going to premiere on the 12th of September. Hulu, FX, Disney Plus, all the usual places.
I'm so excited.
Really excited for that.
I wonder what's going to happen at the end.
I feel it's later than it was last time.
I think it was.
Because I'm sure it came out in August, didn't it? Or am I wrong?
I don't know. I'm sure it came out whilst we were on holiday last year, and it was like late August we were on holiday.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but who knows?
Who knows?
I can't remember. But 12th of September, set your alarms. I am so excited. Can't wait. I'm not one for pushing up, saying, let's the days go quick.
Yeah.
But I want the 12th of September to come quick because I really want to watch it.
Yeah, so do I. I'm excited. I'm not sure I want to rush the days past because we've got a week's holiday in there as well. So.
Well, yeah, I want that to go slow, obviously.
Yes, but it's good, and we know there's a happy ending. It's one of them things where people always ask, why do you watch that film when you know what the end's going to be? It's because you enjoy the end and you like it, and it doesn't matter that we know what the end is. We still want to see it.
I think there will be tears.
Yeah.
I think there'll be lots of, not just from me.
No.
I can guarantee there'll be tears from me. I think there'll be lots of tears from a lot of fans watching that documentary in September.
Yeah. It's exciting.
And I'm hoping we'll be on it at some point. I mean, we've had no official interviews or anything like that, but we've been trying to get on, when we went into the turf, there was cameras there and we tried to get on the camera. Yeah. So we're hoping that we're,
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
Trust me, if we're on there anywhere, it's getting...
It'll be on social media everywhere.
It's getting clipped and it's going everywhere. So every week we look at a couple of clubs that we're going to be playing in the upcoming season.
Yeah.
We have now done... up until now, we've done 22 of the teams that we are due to face next season. Obviously, we are one of the teams as well, so that is 23. So that leaves us with one team. So we have one team left to look at for the upcoming season.
Can anyone guess who they are?
Yeah, it's Notts County,
boom,
obviously.
Boom, boom.
So we've got Notts County to have a look at this week. So what? Tell us something.
So,
we don't know anything about them, but
no, just pretend you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nottingham is 93 miles away.
Yeah.
The club was actually founded in 1862, so they are the oldest football club in the world.
They are.
Obviously, we're 1864, they're 1862,
yeah.
so
2 years older than us.
2 years older than us.
I think that. Do you think that is something that builds the rivalry as well, because both clubs are so old? Do you think that is something that
maybe?
No,
just maybe we're two really good teams. I think that's probably what the rivalry is.
There wasn't really any massive rivalry up before last season, was there?
They were just Notts County the season before.
Yeah.
They play at Meadows Lane.
Meadow Lane.
Meadows
Lane.
All right, sorry, Meadow Lane.
Get it right.
They're 200. I think they're the closest. I think they're the closest, two stadiums together. They're 270 metres away from the Nottingham Forest ground.
They are. So they're 270. So the Meadow Lane and the City Ground are 270 metres apart.
Oh, you've got it here. The closest two grounds in England.
They are the closest two grounds. So basically, they're across the river from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're 270 metres away. The closest two stadiums in England. They are the second closest stadiums to each other in the UK. The only two clubs that have stadiums closer to each other are Dundee and Dundee United.
Who are, a fact for you.
If anybody is wondering how close they are, just Google Dundee United stadiums. Just have a look how close they are.
Could you throw the ball from one stadium to another? Could Ben Tozer throw the ball from one stadium to the other?
Standing on the roof, I dare say he'd get
pretty close. There's a challenge for you, Ben.
Yeah. They're close. Them two are very close.
So they have a capacity of 19,841, which is mega.
Yeah.
Their away stand is the Jimmy Cyril stand, which holds a capacity of 5,775, which is a good, I think they could give us a little bit more, but
No, that's pretty decent. That's over 25%.
But they don't ever fill it though, do they?
No, they don't. I tell you what they do. They've got the biggest ever attendance in the National League. The reason they've got that is they do incentives where they give. What were you laughing at there? They do incentives where they give tickets away for £5.
Exactly.
And they let kids in for £1 and stuff like that. So
it's a good incentive considering it's the cost of living, but I mean, we don't have to do that. We fill our stadiums out. So they play in black and white, obviously, as they did last season.
Little fact for you.
Okay, what's your fact?
Black and white stripes. So Juventus, Juventus, Italian super team, shall we call them? Juventus's kit is based on Notts County's kit.
Really?
It is indeed. So Juventus used to play in pink, I think, but there was a problem where the kit used to fade all the time. So they said to somebody, we need to get some better kits. Somebody at the club got in touch with his mate who was from Nottingham, and he supplied them with black and white stripes. That's why Juventus black and white.
Well, there you go. So their mascots are Mr. and Mrs. Magpie. Obviously, their nickname is the Magpies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen the Mr. and Mrs. Magpie.
Have a look. They're just two magpies. Yeah.
I mean, they promoted last season, obviously, via the playoffs, as we all well know, and that was during penalties. They obviously promoted with penalty
So it went to extra time with Chesterfield, then it went to penalties, and they won on penalties,
So they're the bookies' third favourite to win League Two behind Wrexham and Stockport. So you've got, obviously, is Wrexham first?
Wrexham first, then
Stockport, then Notts County.
Yeah.
So likelihood is they'll be going up to League One next season.
Not necessarily.
If the bookies are right.
Yes, which they're not.
Which I'm a bit bemused.
Mm.
I don't think that's a word. I'm not coming out with my words very well today, but I'm a bit Stockport are a good team, obviously. So I'm a bit confused as to why we're ahead of Stockport when they were so close to going up to League One.
Wrexham AFC, we are massive.
There you go. That's it. Ryan's put here they're managed by Williams. That's actually Luke Williams.
It is, yes. And their top scorer for last season was obviously Macaulay Langstaff, who scored 42 goals. Little fact, okay? I got a sneaking suspicion Macaulay Langstaff's mum and dad are really into Home Alone.
Oh my God.
Do you know why?
Oh my God.
They called him Macaulay, and his middle name is Kevin.
Can I just say, that thought was, when you'd finished talking, I was just about to say, I wonder if Macaulay's mum and dad are Home Alone fans. Well, we've been together too long.
Anyway, that's Notts County out the way. It is fan forum time, and we have gone European this week.
Oh, Vienna!
Yes, we have. Yeah, we've got Peter from Vienna on the show in Austria. So, Peter, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey guys, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you? I'm great.
Not a problem at all. We're really grateful for you for coming on. Thank you very much for coming on. I think the first question is, so you're from Austria. So how has this happened? How are you a Wrexham fan?
Okay. I watched football all my life because it's the #1 sport here. There are a couple of teams in Vienna with fierce rivalries for 1999 it was. I discovered that wasn't enough for me quality-wise and football-wise, because the football is like, Wales played Austria for the World Cup qualifier thingy, where Bale scored a free kick and you went and we didn't. But no, the Austrian football is very different because the standards are very low. Like Wrexham, obviously last season was 5th here in England. And it's just the quality is much better than the first league in Austria. So in 1999, I discovered that English football was more for me, and I watched the Premier League for the last 24 years. And I discovered Wrexham because I watched a podcast of Ben Foster, who joined, and I just discovered Wrexham after the Notts County game, so I missed that one. And after the Bournemouth game, because Wrexham was coming on my YouTube feed, and I saw the pitch invasion after the Bournemouth game, and I was like, "What's that about?" I mean, it was the friendliest, most heartwarming thing I've ever seen in football. That thing, and I just thought I had to be a part of that. And then I came to you guys and rewatched the season with all the highlights. And after I watched the highlights, I listened to the corresponding episode you had. So for me, it's like I relived the whole last season, and it was great. It's great.
That's amazing.
That's a good story.
That is a really good story. That's one of the best stories that we've heard of sort of new fans who've come on board.
Like, obviously, a lot of fans who've international fans and things have discovered Wrexham through the documentary. But the fact that you've obviously discovered it through Ben Foster, that is unique, and it's not. I don't think that's.
The thing I also like is the fact that you've discovered Wrexham sort of quite late on in the season. And then you've gone back, watched highlights, watched corresponding episodes of the podcast. That's a great story. I love that.
And it was good to do so, because, like I said, the quality was, for me, it was overwhelming, because I was used to the Premier League, and I thought, National League will be worse. It's not really. I mean, of course, the games are faster in the Premier League. But what I love about National League football, what I love about Wrexham, is that the first thing I noticed when I saw, I just randomly clicked on one highlight game. The first thing I noticed is that Parky subbed off Cannon in the 70th minute, and he was barely able to walk off the pitch because he gave it all. You don't have that in the Premier League. They're just standing around and being lazy because they are paid much money for nothing. Yeah. And it's a different story here. So they really give their all and they fight for the badge.
Definitely.
That's something I love.
Yeah.
You obviously said you've been watching the Premier League for sort of years and years and years. Was there ever, did you ever sort of feel that connection with another team that, you know, in the Premier League? Was there the sort of feeling, oh, I could go and support this Premier League club in the way that you're sort of supporting Wrexham now?
Well, I had the Premier League club I supported before Wrexham, and since that club is absolute shambles now, everybody who watches the Premier League can think of 2 or 3 clubs that are shambles now. No, but for me, it was just the right time, because at Wrexham, we're Rob and Ryan coming in, and we're doing the documentary as well. It's, for me, it's like a real-time football manager playthrough. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are those football managers where you take on a team and build stadiums and build staff and youth academy and things like that. And they're doing it in real life. And with the documentary, you get to watch what it was a great thing when Boyle signed. And he went like the stadium tour, yeah? And you could see the physio, and there was a massive difference between the physio now and the physio that was on the documentary. So you can see how everything's developing, and that makes it extra special. I really love that aspect.
That's amazing. But I mean, for you, you know, for a lot of fans who are new, I think it's fair to say they're more than happy to support the club from afar. Yeah. You know, they're in America, they're in Australia, they're in Europe. They're happy to watch highlights, but that isn't enough for you, is it? Because you're coming to Wrexham.
Yeah. I'm very, very excited to come. I got the membership and managed to get 2 tickets for a friend of mine, who is also supporting Wrexham now, because I just infected him with the whole story. Yeah. No, but we're coming to the game where you are on holiday, unfortunately. I was so happy when we got the tickets, and then I wrote you that we got the tickets, and then I realized, how you said you're not here for the first game. And I said, well, but I'm sure I will like it, and maybe we'll come later in the season, because it's not that far away. I mean, yeah, okay. It's a bit expensive to get there just for the game, but you know, I love football, and I love the stadium environment. I love singing, yeah. I love having a pint or 2. It's great. Yeah, I just have to be there. It's not enough to. Obviously, I got the iFollow thing with all the games, and I will watch every game. Yeah?
Did you, when you got your tickets, did you get them in the, are they in the international section? Is that the section that you got?
It says international adult, yeah.
So just for anybody who doesn't know, because we weren't actually aware of this until quite recently, because we have conversations with quite a few international fans. They get in touch going, oh, I want to get tickets. And we try and give them as much advice as we can. Now, we didn't find this out until sort of fairly recently, that the club actually offer an international ticket. So there are 75 tickets available at every home game for international fans. They can only be purchased by international members who have signed up, who have an address outside of the UK.
Yeah.
I do know a few people in Wrexham who have tried to purchase tickets
you can't
in that
bypass
section,
it.
and you literally cannot bypass it. They are reserved for international members over. Yeah, I was going to ask,
there are some, obviously I've seen, you know, everybody at Wrexham, not everybody, sorry, that's the wrong thing to say, but quite a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that have always got something to moan about when Wrexham announce something new. And this is just another thing that some people are moaning about. I personally think it should have happened last season.
I think it's an amazing thing.
I think it's good. I think the fact that they, they've got like a reservation for memberships, international fans. I just think,
and it gives people like Peter who want to come and be involved.
And why shouldn't they?
I think it's a brilliant thing. Peter, how easy did you find it to buy tickets?
It was madness because like you tend to say, nothing's really working when they start to bring in new things like shirt pre-orders and stuff like that. Same with the tickets. So you have there's a date when it starts, and you get into a queue, and you have this and that many people in front of you. And when it's your turn, you get the stadium and you get the free seats, available seats for you. And you click on it, and then it says, yeah, we couldn't purchase your seat. Please try again. And you have to refresh the page and click on it and click on it, and seats keep disappearing and appearing. So it was quite a bit of clicking involved. But we got the tickets on the second day when it started. I was just, we were not planning to come this early. Yeah, we were just, I had my membership done, and then a friend of mine, we worked together. We're sitting in the same office. Yeah, and he got his membership done, and the next day I was just checking for fun if there are any seats available, and there were two, and he had his membership, and I had him on my account, and I said, yeah. He was away because he was working somewhere, and I called him and I said, hey, I've got two tickets. I've got them in the basket. Do you want me to buy them? So we go in August, and he said, yeah, buy them. And so I just got them. It was purely by accident, and because I couldn't resist really. I had them in my basket, two tickets, not exactly next to each other, but not that far away in my basket, and I was like, I just can't give that up. We're going now.
Which stand are you in?
It's Y9, so it's Wrexham Lager stand next to where the cup will be.
All right, yeah.
Upper section. But I don't care. I'm just there for the singing. I will watch the highlights anyways afterwards. I don't have to see the game, every bit of it. I'm just here for the atmosphere and for the fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that.
So how long are you going to be staying in Wrexham for? Are you literally flying in and then flying out, or are you staying for a couple of days?
It will just be over the weekend. So we'll arrive on Friday, and we will leave on Sunday morning. So it will be just for the game. We will, I don't know what we'll do on Saturday, what we'll do after the game. I'm sure we'll visit a couple of places, but it's just really short. It's a horrible trip as well, because we couldn't fly to Manchester. We have to fly to London, and we have to go from London by train. So it will be a 13-hour journey in total. It's worth it. Come on,
that's dedication.
It's just for the fun. It's worth it. If that's not worth it, you don't have to go.
Yeah,
you really have to do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Dedication.
It is dedication. Yeah. Have you got plans for a sort of trip back? I know you haven't been on this trip yet, but are you planning on coming back again, sort of later in the season? Have you sort of pinpointed any games that you want to go to?
Not really. I mean, it would be great if the season goes all right, and if we manage to go up. Surely the game that decided if that's a home game would be great. I don't want to go to Wembley for promotion, but if that happens, that would be great as well. Never been to Wembley. Other than that, I think once, twice a season, and I'm a sucker for a good away day as well. So that would be great as well. Not only the Racecourse, of course. It was important for me to see the Racecourse before the Cup is done, so I know what it was like before. It's always very, very important for me that I'm not just a plastic fan who's there because Wrexham is doing well and it's fun. It's just a passion deep inside. You have to be involved. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to know the history as well. Yeah,
you can absolutely tell that you're really passionate about Wrexham. It's not just like you just said, you're not just a plastic fan. You're Wrexham through and through.
Yeah,
yes, which is great.
and it was so quick. I mean, the obsession was there right away. It clicked immediately, yeah, because of everything you saw in the documentary and everything, the history of the club. I mean, the Hamilton thing is insane. It's insane. It's just typically what the world's about. It's about profit, and it's about don't care who I destroy, what I take away. I just want to make money. And then there's this little town, yeah. And he says, no, not with us. We're keeping our football club, yeah. So that's just great. It's a fairy tale. And then there's the luck with Rob and Ryan. Absolutely deserved. And I'm convinced they get us to the Prem.
Oh, that yeah, hopefully.
Well, not in 5 years' time, but they will in 10. So I'm sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I do as well.
Definitely.
You talked about one of your friends, obviously, that you work with is coming with you. What about sort of like your other friends that you've got? Do they think you're a bit crazy for supporting a club sort of like so far away from where you live?
No, it's not the far away thing. My wife tends to get a bit jealous. That's about the only thing, but it's more a fun thing. Yeah, she knows how I am with football, and she watched a documentary as well. And she's really not into football normally, but the thing that makes it accessible for everybody is the family things. You know, the things with Jordan Davis and his wife, the things with Hayden and his family building here, growing up. The marvelous comical relationship between Palmer and Mullin. It's just for everybody. It's great, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
We do have a good team.
Yeah. When you arrive in Wrexham, Peter, what's the first thing that you want to do?
Apart from sleep.
Yeah, after a 13-hour journey, yeah.
I think taking a shower would be number one. No, after that, I think the turf would be the first thing that pops in. Give Wayne a visit, have a talk with him. Yeah.
When so you're coming for the MK Dons game, obviously. And what I'd like to ask you is, do you have it's a difficult one, but do you have a score prediction for the day?
Since it's the first game of the season, I just hope we win, because, like every football fan, you know, if we lose, it's because I'm there. I'm bad luck charm then, and it's very hard for me to come back if we lose. The superstition is with every football fan in the world.
Absolutely.
So I take any win.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about next season then? Obviously, you touched on before that you genuinely believe that in sort of between 5 and 10 years, Wrexham will get there and they'll get to the Premier League. A little bit sort of closer next season. How do you think that's going to go for us? Where do you think we're going to finish in the table?
It really depends on how it starts, how it goes, how many points we're able to get at the start. Parker will know. Parker will see what needs adjustment to get the things done. I really believe we can make top 3, and we don't have to go to the playoffs unnecessarily. Yeah. The players, the all-around feel, what I get from the players is that they want to win it. Every single one of them, they want to win it. They don't want to be top 3. They want to be champions. Okay, if they can manage. No, I'm convinced. I'm convinced that we can make it. I'm sure we can make the playoffs. 100%. I want to believe that we can make top 3, and if we win it, even better.
While you've got your sort of prediction head on, next season, if we were going to look at an individual player, who do you think's going to be our player of the season next year? Do you think it's going to be Mullin again for a third year, or do you think it's going to be maybe somebody else is going to sort of step forward and be our sort of shining player next year?
The thing I love about last season as well is that it's not about Paul Mullin. The star is the team. So I really can't single out Mullin. Yeah, he scores the goals, obviously. But the midfield press is spot on. The defensive work is solid most of the time. If we take out of the occasion that end of the games, they tend to lose focus a bit and they concede goals. But no, it's a team effort, and I really don't want to single anyone out. I think Boyle will be a great signing. He looks absolutely great. Barnett is a great player. The midfield, Lee, Cannon, absolutely great players. In defense, I'm a bit worried about Mendy. I love him. I love his explosivity. He's very good offensively and has great bits, but he needs to step up his defensive game a bit, I think. But other than that, I think every player, the team units, and the absolute will to win and to succeed, that's the most important thing in football, because people don't get that. Football is a mind game. It's about wanting to achieve things together. It's about winning that second ball. It's about getting the press done. It's about running till the very last minute. Yeah, focus, concentration, everything's there with this team. The Vegas trip helped them a lot, obviously. The pre-season in America will help them enormously. Last season, the fact that one player left the team from last season is great, because normally when you go up a league, you tend to think, maybe the team's not good enough and we need 12 new players. No happen here. Great players. They will continue as long as they can. And this unity, that's the best player we have.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's really good. What about for you? I know what Peter said, I completely agree with that. Do you think next year, we've had Mullin last 2 seasons, player of the season, do you think there's going to be one that stands out for you?
I think maybe Barnett.
Do you know what?
What?
That is mine as well.
I think he's definitely...
I think we're going to see a big step up.
Yeah, I like Barnett.
I do. And I think I've got I'm going to throw it out there. And clearly you are as well. I've got a sneaking suspicion Barnett might be player of the season next season.
Do you think?
I've got a funny feeling. If Mullin performs the way he does, I think as this season, I think it's very hard to overlook him. But I've got this sneaking suspicion.
He'll be your player of the season.
I just got a funny feeling Ryan Barnett's going to step up and we're going to see something special from him this season.
Yeah, I
really
think he's definitely one to watch.
He is. Shan, who has got in touch this week before we move on to the quiz?
Well, Ryan, we have had Martin Davis on Twitter. He said he's catching up on your it says your podcast, but our podcast.
Yeah,
great job. Swiss Guy, you from YouTube, have just voted for you for the British Podcast Awards. Best of luck to you. Keep going up the town. Chaz Llewellyn, obviously we spoke about him last week. He's got in touch again saying, man, thank you so much for the shout out. And as always, thank you for all you do to keep us informed. Arc Light Insights. It's not an easy one to say. I love your podcast. Thank you so much for what you do. With regards to how many of our listeners are what?
So basically, Sean put but Sean put a message out about there was 42.7% of our listeners weren't subscribed. She put a little thing out, didn't you, on social media? Yes, and 2 people got in touch about that.
So Family Dinner 1 got in touch saying 42.7% is incredible, in capital letters. Good viewer sub ratio for YouTube. I know you were sort of joking about being sad, but this means your fans are extremely engaged and seek out your channel. Some YouTubers are sub 3%. Congrats. And then viewers from the Yale 611 YouTube post again. You're doing a great job. I would love a figure of 42.7. I'm at 90%.
Yes. So thank you.
We are really grateful, but we just want to get over that 1K mark.
So please like the video and subscribe if you are on YouTube.
Share it to people.
Share it, do whatever.
Get people listening.
Yes. If you are listening to the podcast, just head over anyway. It's completely free to subscribe.
I think the word subscribe scares people. I think
it does,
they think
because it sounds subscription.
Yeah, whether you have to pay.
It's completely free to subscribe on YouTube. Yes. So please head over. It really helps us out. If you want to get in touch the way that Peter has and you'd like to come on, because we are going to be continuing to have guests throughout the season. It's not just an off-season thing. You can get in touch on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads. You can email us at me-the-wife and wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
Not sure how I'm feeling about Threads.
No.
It's a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
Not really.
Just a quick one about Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30. As we mentioned last week, the best thing to do is follow Dragon Chat Steve Lloyd on Twitter to get involved in that. Next Thursday,
exciting.
Steve, we had a little chat with Steve. He is the session is still on this Thursday. He's running it from Mac's Tavern in Philadelphia this week.
Rob will be there. Who's Phil?
I don't know. But yeah, he's running it from Mac's Tavern. That's really exciting to be doing that.
Yeah,
so that is brilliant. Just a reminder that they obviously do the Dragon Chat strollers as well, which is a walk around a certain area within Wrexham. That obviously won't be on this week because Steve is in Philadelphia. So jump on the call.
But walking is very good for your mental health. So
it is.
Even though Steve's not here, maybe get out and go for a walk.
Yes, definitely. Just a quick one. The British Podcast Awards, as we mentioned, were people who got in touch. Just a reminder to vote for us. The voting closes on the 5th of September, so you can still get your vote in for that one. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a link down in the description to be able to do that. If you are listening to the podcast, head over to any of our social media and it's a pinned post at the top of the page.
Apart from Threads, because I haven't learned how to do that yet.
Right, it is quiz time. So we have Peter versus Sian this week. So as always, I will read out 3 statements. 1 will be true, 2 will be lies, and you just have to pick out the truth. Sian will answer first. Peter will answer second. We will determine a winner at the end.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go. So, section 1. Number 1.
Are you ready, Peter?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Number 1. We saw Brian Flynn on Wrexham's tour of the USA this week as an ambassador for the club. Which one of the following statements about Brian Flynn is true? Brian Flynn was Wrexham manager from 1989 to 2001. At the time of his departure, after 12 years, he was the longest-serving manager in the English Football League. Number 2, Brian Flynn was born in Carmarthen, South Wales. Or number 3, Brian Flynn is the 18th most capped ever player for Wales.
Okay, I'm gonna go with number 1.
Number 1, so he was the longest serving manager.
I'm sure he's from Wrexham.
Okay. Peter?
I'll go with number 2.
Number 2, that he was born in Carmarthen. So he wasn't the longest serving manager, unfortunately, Sian. That was Alex Ferguson. And Dario Gradi as well at Crewe was also longer serving than him.
Oh, God, of course. I thought, yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't born in Carmarthen, unfortunately, Peter. He was born in Port Talbot. So he is the 18th most capped player ever for Wales. So 0-0. That's fine. Let's move on. Section 2. Number 1. Wrexham will be the only club in the Football League next season with a Welsh dragon on their home shirt. Number 2. Wednesday's game against Chelsea was Aaron Hayden's first game for 201 days. Or number 3, 9 of Wrexham's first 12 games this season in all competitions will be played at home.
I'm going to go with Hayden, number 2.
Number 2, Hayden.
Yeah.
And Peter?
I'll go with 3. Let's see if it's right.
Okay, so it wasn't Aaron Hayden's first game for 201 days. He played against Bala the other day, okay? But even if we don't include that one, it was 171 days since he got injured.
Okay.
9 of the first 12 games are not at home, unfortunately. So Wrexham will be the only club in the Football League next season with a Welsh Dragon on their home shirt. So Newport, Swansea and Cardiff, none of them have Welsh Dragons on their home shirt.
So still 0-0.
Still 0-0, that's okay. Right, section 3. Number 1. Oh no, sorry. New signing Will Boyle was in the squad that travelled to the US this week. Which one of these statements about Will Boyle is true?
Okay.
Number 1. Will Boyle's middle name is William. Number 2. Will Boyle scored 23 goals for Cheltenham, but hasn't scored a single goal for any of the other clubs he's played for. Or number 3, Will Boyle was League 2 Player of the Season in 2020-2021 season.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Number 2, and Peter?
Seems unlikely, because if you score 20 goals for a club, you will score at least 1 for the other clubs you played, and I go with 3.
Number 3, Shan, you are correct. He scored 23 goals for Cheltenham, but he hasn't scored any for anybody else. Let's hope he can put that right for us, eh?
Let me hope so.
Right, okay, section 4. Wrexham played Chelsea last week. The last competitive game between the two ended in a 1-0 win for Wrexham. Okay. Number 2. If Paul Mullin equals the number of goals scored last season, this season, he will become Wrexham's 8th all-time top scorer after just 3 seasons at the club. Or number 3, Wrexham play Manchester United next week. The teams have met 6 times competitively in their history. Manchester United have won 3 and Wrexham have won 3.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Number 2, the Paul Mullin?
Yeah.
Okay. Peter?
Me as well.
You're going to go for number 2 as well. If Paul Mullin scores the same amount of goals he did last season, he will become not the 8th all-time top scorer,
the
4th all-time top scorer. Wrexham have played Man United 5 times, not 6. Man United have won them all. Wrexham have never beat Man United. So the last time Wrexham played Chelsea, they won 1-0. It was in Division 2 in 1982.
Oh, the year we were born.
There we go.
I was born.
Last question.
Yes. Not doing very well, are we?
We're doing great, huh?
So, Wrexham released their black kit in the club shop this week.
Yep.
Number 1. It is the first time they have had a black shirt since the 2006-2007 season. Number 2. It's the first time they have had a black shirt since the 1986-1987 season. Or number 3 is the first time they have ever had a black shirt.
I'm going to go with number 3.
Number 3, first time ever. And Peter?
I at least want to draw, so I go with 1.
Number 1. You have drawn, Peter. Well done.
There you go. Last second draw.
Well done.
Well done. Yes, so they had a black kit in 2006, 2007. Yes. I think they had Lease Direct. I think it was when the Lease Direct was the sponsor. I might be wrong on that. And they had sort of like a red trim on it. Anyway, I can't really remember if I'm completely honest, but yes, it was.
Okay.
1-1. Well done to both of you.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. But to be fair, Ryan, if I didn't know that you're working in shifts, I would think you're a used car salesman or a lawyer, because the things you make up, it's so credible all the time.
I try my best. It's so hard. Some lies that I come up with.
You're doing absolutely great.
He's a good liar.
Some lies I come up with, I go, I can't put that. They'll never believe that's true. Do you know what? People do.
Yeah. No, you're a good liar.
Thank you very much to everybody who's been watching this week, and especially thank you very much to Peter for coming on. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It was a great time. Thank you.
It's good. Glad.
And we're so glad to have you on. Thank you very much, Peter. We will see you all next week for another show. Bye.
Bye.